Yes, welcome to the No State Project here live from the fortified compound in Mesa, Arizona. I'm glad to be with everyone today. I don't know how many we're going to have today, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just do half a show, but we'll see how it goes. But all are welcome to call in at 218-632-9399. That's 218-632-9399. The passcode is 2020 with the pound sign. Or the hashtag, and that'll get you into the queue. You may also contact me on Skype at FrankRizzo3, but please instant message me first, and I'll give those numbers out. Again, as everybody starts to file into the big show there, and I appreciate everyone's continued support of the show. It's much appreciated, much needed. And you may do so, if you're inclined, you may do so at markstevens.net and markstevens.sells.com. That's SELZ, markstevens.sells.com. So, yeah, Rika, appreciate tuning in today. I got a few things to talk about here today. We'll see how much ground we can cover. Again, it is the first show of 2020. Hard to believe 20 years has passed since Y2K and that whole scare there. I ran a Mac. I didn't think that too much was going to happen anyway. But then again, I guess it could have. So I think I got the mute button there in time. But new year. We'll see what it brings. This 2019 was an absolutely dreadful year for me. Just probably the worst ever in my adult life, which I hope I never have to revisit something like that again, at least not for a very, very long time. So I am glad. I know it's just some celebration, but things are somewhat better. They'll be getting better. So. We'll see what happens. So now we got people filing in. Remember, it's and maybe somebody can. I didn't do it in the chat. If you could just put in there the number to get into the show is 218-632-9399. 218-632-9399. The passcode being 2020 with the pound sign, and Skype, as you always, is Frank Rizzo 3. So that's Frank Rizzo 3. I'll just put that part in there. Maybe we'll just get more of them there. Skype calls. So we've got Frank Rizzo 3 on Skype. And I guess we can start off with some good news, like I have in the tentative title of the big show. I don't even remember off the top of my head. I know there was another bunch of mass pardons that maybe it was Oklahoma. It was a couple thousand, because the trend seems to be the legalization or the decriminalization of marijuana, which is always, hey, that's a step in the right direction. That's certainly a good thing, I would say. Definitely a good thing. Of course, I don't remember where, and I did report on the show a few months ago, where there were at least several thousand pardons and records being expunged for low-level marijuana charges. Should be for all marijuana charges, but hey, we'll take what we can get. But it turns out that in Illinois, the governor, and this is reported by the AP. I will take that link so that you guys know what the hell I'm talking about over here. Thanks, guys, for posting the number for the big shoe. All right, that is AP News that is reporting this, that the Illinois governor clears thousands of marijuana convictions. This was posted yesterday in Chicago. Illinois' governor granted more than 11,000 pardons for low-level 11,000. For low-level marijuana convictions on Tuesday, describing the step as a first wave of such expungements anticipated under the state's new marijuana legalization law. The expungement process is a key part of the law, which takes effect Wednesday and made Illinois the 11th state to legalize marijuana for people 21 or older. When they crafted the policy, Illinois lawmakers said they wanted to repair some of the damage caused by law enforcement's efforts to combat sale and use of the drug, particularly in minority communities. Well, you can still prosecute those. I like to see that. Get Larry Krasner types on that one. So it was Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker announced the pardons at a church on Chicago's South Side. He said clearing the misdemeanor offenses from individual records will make it easier for them to get jobs, housing, and financial aid for college. State officials estimate 116,000 convictions involving 30 grams or less of marijuana, including for possession of the drug, are eligible for pardons under the new law. 116,000. Wow. Illinois State Police are responsible for identifying those convictions and sending the records to the put the police in charge of that. Sending the records to the state's prisoner review board, which then forwarded eligible cases to the governor's office for pardons. Wow. Pritzker's pardons allow the state's attorney general to ask courts to formally clear or seal the records. We are ending the 50-year-long war on cannabis, Pritzker said in a statement. We are restoring rights to many tens of thousands of Illinoisans. We are bringing regulation and safety to a previously unsafe and illegal market, and we are creating a new industry that puts equity at its very core. I don't know about that. Well, we know that black Illinois residents are far more likely to be arrested and convicted for marijuana possession than whites, said Bill Riddell, Criminal Justice Policy Director of the ACLU of Illinois. This is a good step forward as we begin the legal sales of recreational marijuana. Well, 11,017 pardons. So, and they expect hundreds of thousands more. Wow. That is so, yeah, we got to give credit where it's due. I mean, my gosh, 116,000 more possible. So, wow. All right, so Home Bumming It is saying, how do I look up case law so I don't have to keep bugging you? I don't think it's bugging me. And if anybody has that question, you're more than welcome to Skype me or email me, or we can talk about it here on the big show. The case law, easy one to do is findlaw.com. And you can go through and you can find where, see, I had all this on my wiki page, all of it was on the wiki page, all the links that you needed, but the wikis weren't. All the wikis were taken down. I don't mean Wikipedia, but the wiki pages. I was able to survive when they went to a paid service about 5 years ago because mine was educational, but then they pulled them all down. So, that sucks. So what you want to do there, Home Bumming It, is findlaw.com, and you can do word searches or case searches of the United States Supreme Court. You've got searches of all the federal courts there. And if you want state Supreme Court and appellate decisions, those are available. Also, you just click on a particular state that you want. It'll say state resources, something like that. But that'll get you going. That's how I do it. I mean, obviously, if you know the name of the case, you can just put that in. Like I mentioned to you yesterday, I think we were talking about Goldberg versus Kelly. That you could just pull in. But if you want to pull other cases or you want to do word searches, findlaw.com is a pretty good resource. So that's what I use. So there you go. And it's no bug. It's better to ask. But and for every, if I'm not the quickest at responding to something, it's a busy, things are busy. So, but I'll get to it. I do my best to get back to everybody. So, and if I, it's why, and one of the reasons why I do the show, so you could call the show and say, hey, jackass, how the hell do I do this? How do I do that? What's about this? What do I do in this? And we can address it there on the show also. So, and that's for anybody who is being attacked by a bureaucrat. If you got questions on how to effectively defend yourself, that's what we do. That's why I do the show, to help get you through the process. And if you do buy a script or a template, the show is here. We have it so that if you have any questions, especially if there's something I can't address just in an email, then we got the show to do that. So good on, I'm not going to play the audio. I could do that, but I don't want to risk a copyright strike, which which I haven't had to get in a while. So we will see about that. Again, the number is 218-632-9399, 218-632-9399. The passcode is 2020 with the pound sign. And again, you can reach me on Skype at Frank Rizzo 3. Just instant message me first. So, yeah. And no, I didn't. I just, wow. I just didn't have the opportunity. I know. It doesn't take that long to set up a Discord server. I just didn't get around to doing it. Lots of stuff going on, but maybe I should be able to get that done and taken care of for the Saturday broadcast, which I'm starting to guess is going to be a bit longer than today's show is going to be. But just kudos where it's deserved. On not that they still force the community to give them money. I mean, they're still a criminal organization, but here easing the reins and just backing out the screws just a little bit. I think it's great that 100, here 11,000 people are going to either be released from prison or they've already been released from prison, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to get on with their lives. I like to see them going after overzealous prosecutors and police officers. But we'll see. I guess it takes Larry Krasnotype, the guy who is the DA in Philadelphia, for something like that. And Adam Shaw has posted here. He posted here in the last show, we talked about judges and the immunity that they gave themselves. And he's saying that this is the fourth request for your explanation of the Slaughterhouse case, defining a 14th Amendment federal citizen created by the legislature as a corporation for jurisdictional purposes. This was the very first case regarding the 14th Amendment, and this is what Justice Miller said on the record. I'm very curious to hear what you might have to say about this. All right, so just bear with me here, people. You know what I can do? I can copy and paste this comment. Why? I'll copy and paste the comment so that those listening live, you get the benefit of being able to read along with me, especially if you don't like that there Long Island accent. So I'll copy and paste that bad boy. Can I? Oh, I exceeded the limit. So sorry about that, guys. What I'm going to do is just read it. We'll make our way through this. It's not that long. But the court answered that corporations were not citizens within the meaning of this clause, that the term citizens, as they're used, applied only to natural persons. And I think they're talking about the 14th Amendment. Applied only to natural persons. Members of the body politic owing allegiance to the state, not to artificial persons created by the legislature, and possessing only the attributes which the legislature had prescribed. That though it had been held that there were contracts or rights of property, though it had been held that where contracts or rights of property were to be enforced by or against the corporation, the courts of the United States would, for the purpose of maintaining jurisdiction, consider the corporation as representing citizens of the state under the laws of which it was created, and to this extent would treat a corporation as a citizen within the provision of the Constitution, extending the judicial power of the United States to controversies between citizens of different states. It had never been held in any case that had come under its observation, either in the state or federal courts, that a corporation was a citizen within the meaning of the clause in question, entitling citizens of each state to the privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. I'm not getting here where it's saying that the 14th Amendment federal citizen was a corporation for jurisdictional purposes. I think what I'm getting is you're flipping it around. They're saying for jurisdictional purposes, the corporation was considered as representing citizens of the state. It's not saying, at least in what you're quoting here, it doesn't say that the 14th Amendment citizen is a corporation. They're saying that for the purposes of jurisdiction, a corporation is treated as representing citizens of the state. So I'm not getting here where your interpretation, what you're saying here, that the 14th Amendment, the Slaughterhouse case, is defining a 14th Amendment federal citizen as a corporation for jurisdictional purposes. It's backwards. Saying that the corporation for the jurisdictional purposes is treated as representing citizens of the state. It's not saying are. So I'm not getting that. I'm not getting what you're saying here. So if somebody thinks I'm wrong, that. Well, yeah, we know that there are no citizens, period. But for some reason, somebody, Adam wants to discuss this particular court case. So, hey, well, I'm game for that. I just think, Adam, I think you're getting it backwards. So, if you want to call the show, if you're inclined to do that, 218-632-9399, 218-632-9399. The passcode is 2020. With the pound sign, or you can always Skype me. Insta message me first, but Skype me, Insta message me at Frank Rizzo 3, and I can bring you up on that on the show. But I'm just I'm not getting it. Maybe this is something that goes into the whole the name in all caps, that they're creating a corporation with the birth certificate, and that's sold, traded on the stock exchange, and they're creating bonds that are then traded on the stock exchange every time you're taken to jail. I'm not seeing that, and I've never seen any kind of evidence that would go to prove to any degree that the name in all caps is that they've created a corporation. It's just like I said, you creating a corporation, you have a paper trail, so I'm not getting it. The 14th Amendment, while it did create citizens, was initially for the freed Africans. And so that the slaves, people who were slaves, they were kept as property, which was the law at the time. Up until 1864, I think it was. But it doesn't say anywhere in at least what you've provided me and what I've read in the Slaughterhouse cases, it is not saying that the 14th Amendment created that the citizen, just for sake of argument, if there are citizens under the 14th Amendment, that it wasn't that corporations that they created the federal citizen as a corporation for jurisdiction. No, it just seems, again, I want to end it there. It just sounds like it's a reversal of what was actually done. I mean, and the Slaughterhouse case was before they gave personhood, where they recognize citizens as recognize corporations as actual citizens. That comes later. It doesn't mean that the citizen is a corporation, because artificial entities like government can only interface with artificial entities. That's never made any sense to me. I even back when I was younger, and it never made any sense to me at all, this line that governments are artificial entities and can only interface with other artificial entities. It just didn't. It didn't survive any kind of scrutiny whatsoever, or any kind of questioning. Because the example I've given here on a show is I can go across the street to the store, and I can go and deal with a corporation one-on-one as a flesh and blood living man. It just didn't make any sense. Someone saying, so are there still people in jail in Illinois for marijuana charges, or are all of them out? Some of them are being released. Some of the 11,000, from what I've read, are being released or have been released already. I would imagine some of them have already been released, and they need their record expunged so that they can get work. It's one of the things of having a conviction like that. It destroys your life. Just pick yourself up from the bootstraps and just work harder. Work harder. Because as we all know, harder work is the key to success in the world, which not true. But no, there's only so much you can do when you have a conviction on you, of getting a job, getting, like they said in the article, getting housing. Not an easy thing to do when you got a conviction. They don't give a damn it was just pot. They don't care. So I just can't buy into this 90s patriot crap that everyone's a corporation because the government's a corporation. It's a body politic and body corporate, and they can't interface. I mean, that doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. It's logically inconsistent. It's just stupid. That if I go to Acme Corporation to buy black beans and lentils, I have to. They can only sell those black beans and lentils to a corporation because they can only interface with corporations. Hey, come on. Come on now. I mean, we're not getting any calls this particular show, so I think it's because it's the day that we're doing this. So, but we had a few calls on the last show that just went off the rails as far as logic and the things that were coming out. $1 trillion judgments and stuff like that. Just no, doesn't wash. So artificial or not, legally, they're all persons. Well, natural and artificial, but bottom line is they think that their laws. The issue here, I think that's important, is they think that their laws apply to everybody, artificial or not. They apply to everybody. Well, the artificial, that they only exist by law anyway, at least the way we have things now. So they got kind of a point with artificial. So when so there, yeah. But for us regular folk, for these natural persons, that the flesh and blood man, the idea that their laws, their magical laws, apply to everybody in a certain area just because they say so, yeah, that's just not going to pass any. That's just not going to do it. So, all right. Well, you know what we're going to do? I think because unless you guys have some questions on the YouTube chat, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think what we can do here is just wrap things up. At least we've got a quick show today on the first day of the year. We'll have a lot more calls, I'm sure. We'll actually have calls on the Saturday show. Let's see, someone's saying here, does Illinois give everyone their money back for court fees and lost wages? Anyone who doesn't believe that our injustice system is a corporate scam has to be, I doubt that's going to happen because they'll just, it was under, you were incarcerated and all this was done, and it was done pursuant to state law and state policies. So no. So I don't see anything like that happening. I think if if people should be filing insurance claims against them, yeah, I would encourage that. But I would do it on different grounds and, the jurisdiction grounds. So I want to see Mark light a bonfire on a show sometime. I'm going to light a fire in my house. So now we would have to do a remote show for something like that. Someone saying, you never mentioned the CRIS, Court Registry Investment System. First I've heard of that, so I don't know if that has to do with the bonds when you go to jail. But if someone has proof of that, then, just send me the proof. Send me what the proof, and I can go through that. So far, nothing anybody has sent me about the so-called bonds that are done in the court system that there's any merit to that at all. So if someone thinks that there is merit to that, you're going to have to send me something, some actual evidence, some actual proof. You would think that if there was so many billions and billions of dollars being generated, that more people would know about it. Well, you got to keep it secret. All right. Well, I do appreciate everyone who did tune into the big show here today. If you want to help support the show, it's 218. I did it. First show of the year. I got through the first part when I did the support of the show and didn't try to give out the damn phone number. But gee, it's markstevens.sales.com and markstevens.net. And hey, if you're being attacked by a bureaucrat and you want to learn how to more effectively defend yourself and see the evidence at markstevens.net, for to show how we've replicated the success. That's a big thing here, that so many people have replicated the success. You have to. So when you look at the evidence, which don't take my word for it, look at the evidence, and you see all across political boundaries that people, regular lay people like me, not lawyers and whatnot, regular people have replicated the success that I've had and others have had. Doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily have that, but what it should be able to show is that the questioning and the way we do things here at the No State Project is effective. Nothing is 100% effective. But I'm not going to get into any of that. But if you are being attacked or you want to learn how to more effectively defend yourself, markstevens.net. You can get a copy of Government Indicted, which is the book that has a full model. And again, before you, when you're thinking of purchasing, if you look at the success stories of the last 6 years, those are due to what, they're replicating what was done up to the book Government Indicted. So I appreciate everyone tuning into the big show today. We'll have more time, of course, on the Saturday show. Yes, it will be on the Saturday show. I can't think of the date, but the third of, I guess it'll be the fourth. But we'll have more time, and like we usually do on a Saturday show. So till we are back live again on Saturday, salud.